Hello, folks. Welcome to Scratch the Surface. My name's EJ Scott. Today, my guest is John Reynolds. John is from the TV shows Stranger Things and Search Party on TBS. Before I get into what we talked about, just a quick plug for myself. Follow me on Twitter at EJ Scott and the podcast at EJ Podcast. I have a website, ejscott.com. I'm raising money for charity. You can go to crowdrise.com/7on7. And there's a dozen different charities there that I'm trying to raise money for, all good causes. So please check that out and give what you can. I have a documentary on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play called Running Blind, because I am going blind from an eye disease called choroideremia. And in 2012, I ran 12 marathons in 12 states in 12 months, and was able to get a little documentary made about it. And it's only $2 or $3 to rent it or buy it, so it's really inexpensive for a good piece of work that a guy I know edited and directed, named Ryan Suffer, and he did a good job. So go check that out. It'll be well worth your time and money. And I guess that's about it. So, John, I know from Chicago. I lived in Chicago for a few years, and I go back every so often, and I get to play. And one time, I got to play with John on a team called Carl and the Passions that plays there every week. And when I saw him on Stranger Things, I was like, hey, wait a second, I know that guy. And I was in New York recently where he lives, and we were able to catch up. And he had me over at his apartment, and we talked about a bunch of stuff, including Stranger Things and the TV show he's on called Search Party on TBS, which I highly recommend. He won a SAG award from Stranger Things. We talk about that. We talk about Chicago and improv and relationships. He's got a girlfriend. And we talked about Madison, Wisconsin, where he was raised. Talk about lots of stuff. He's a good dude. We had a few laughs, and I guess that's about it. And from February 27th, 2017, enjoy my talk with John Reynolds. So how's it going?
Good.
Going pretty good. I see your SAG award.
Yeah, I know. I got my SAG award, huh?
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. You want to touch it?
Yeah, I'll touch it in a little bit.
It's heavy.
Will it bring me luck?
Yeah, I don't know. Your girlfriend's probably got a SAG award or something, huh?
No.
No?
No SAG awards. Not yet. Someday. We got to go to the SAG awards once. She was on a show called True Blood.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of that one.
And they were nominated as an ensemble one year.
Oh, nice.
And so we got to go one time, and
it
was a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
I had a good time, yeah. I mean, I got it through the ensemble,
Yeah.
Yeah, ensemble for drama.
That's cool. That counts.
It counts. Yeah, they're not taking it back, It was.
I think I voted for you guys too. I think I voted.
You did?
I may have voted for you guys. I think.
Thanks, EJ.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was really cool. It was fun. I took my friend Gary. And that was fun.
Yeah.
He was my date.
Nice.
So,
did he put out after you won?
Oh yeah, big time. No, that would have been cool.
Yeah. So how long you been in New York now?
I've been in New York for 2.5 years, I think.
2.5 from Chicago.
From Chicago. Yeah, I was in Chicago for 5.
From
Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, okay. Born and raised Wisconsin?
Born in California and then raised in Wisconsin.
Where in California?
Tarzana, California. Okay. Basically Los Angeles.
How long did you stay there for, Tarzana?
For 9 years. I was on Studio City, then Agora Hills, and then moved to Madison, Wisconsin when I was 9.
With your parents? What made them move?
I think there's like a death in the family, and then we want to be closer to family. / I don't think my parents wanted to raise kids in Los Angeles.
Okay.
How
many siblings do you have?
One. I have a sister. She's older.
Older sister.
Yeah. I feel like her grade was real naughty,
What do you mean? Her
like
in school?
The kids were getting real advanced real fast,
Okay.
It was just like the school we were going to, like things were kind of getting nuts. I remember right before we left, like there were like a few weird things. Like a couple kids set off like a pipe bomb inside this like giant ass pipe, and then I didn't really understand what was happening. And like a friend's brother, like went to juvie, and then it was like, like a bunch of stuff kind of was happening like that. So
Uh-oh.
I think my parents were like, yeah, I think it's like a good time to,
No, that was
go.
good.
And they both had jobs that were, downtown, and then we were kind of left alone to babysitters and stuff. So it wasn't
Okay.
a good setup.
Yeah. And so somebody's death was like motivation to move also, or just a good excuse?
I think to be like closer to family,
Who had you know who passed
It
away?
was my grandpa.
Grandpa.
Yes, my grandfather passed, and then I think that was so we were in Madison for that, and then I think that kind of it was like a bunch of factors, but I think that was part of the reason. Like,
Yeah.
we should be back with family because my grandma was there, and then my aunts and stuff like that. So
So your parents are from there.
yeah, I went to the same high school as my dad.
Oh, that's
Yeah, Madison West High School, and my sister had I think one of his history books, like one of his textbooks,
wow.
which is funny. They didn't really update those things.
Isn't that where Chris Farley's from too?
Yeah, he went to the rich Catholic high school across the street. He went to Edgewood,
Yeah.
and I went to Madison West, the
Okay.
public school.
Are they rivals?
Not really, because they're like it's a Catholic private school, so they're in the I don't know what conference they're like Division II, so we're not even rivals.
Right.
You know.
Did you look up to Chris Farley at all? Because you're in comedy now. So were you growing up loving comedy and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I really liked Chris Farley. Growing up, I thought he was so funny, and I was friends with his niece, Mary Kate Farley. I did like plays with her, like one act plays and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I was a big fan. His oldest brother Tom, Mary Kate's dad, for like my graduation present, had me over and let me like go through all Chris's old stuff. So I
Wow.
got
And keep stuff.
I have two of his original like SNL schedules.
Whoa, that's pretty neat.
You want to see them?
Sure, maybe later, maybe in a minute.
Oh, in a minute. Yeah, they're funny. They got like Tom Arnold's number on the back of them and stuff.
Oh, I wonder if it's
And,
still
like,
good. We
little
should
handwritten
call. We
notes.
should call Tom.
Yeah. Tom Arnold or Bernie Brillstein's numbers on there too, I think.
Wow,
Yeah, they're cool.
that is really cool. Wow, that's nice of Tom to do that.
Yeah, he was a sweet guy. He knew I wanted to do comedy and stuff.
Did you read that book,
I did.
Chris Farley Show?
The Chris Farley Show?
Yeah, I read it too. It's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It's sad.
Very sad. That's
Yeah.
a tragedy. The whole thing's tragic. I had his brother on, Kevin,
Oh, yeah.
and we talked about Chris and Betty Cahill, who was on a season of SNL with Chris.
Oh, cool.
We talked about Chris, and then Pat Finn I had on.
Yeah, beer shirt mice guy, right?
Yep. Do you know Pat at all?
I don't know
He's a good
Pat.
dude.
I think I met him before. But, yeah, that was kind of the funny thing about when you go to Chicago. Like, a lot of his friends are still around,
Yeah.
So you can talk to him. Like, I mean, Noah Gregoropoulos,
Sure.
like, has a bunch of stories about him. Because they were, like, sort of buddies.
Well, and so how'd you get along with your sibling, your sister, and your parents and stuff growing up? Was all that
Good.
moving kind of tough, or was that okay?
I mean, moving to Madison was like, you kind of had to change a lot about yourself to like fit in.
Such as what?
Well, when I lived in California, I like skateboarded and stuff,
Right,
and I was I played like soccer and I skateboarded and I wore baggy like clothes and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I moved to Madison and I had to go to a Catholic school for middle school,
Oh.
and there's a dress code,
Yeah.
so I had to like buy little Dockers and collared shirts and stuff. And I couldn't skateboard because there's snow everywhere,
Right.
and nobody played soccer really, so I had to switch to playing different sports.
They just handed you a plate of meat and they just
Yeah.
like go at it.
So it was funny. I felt like way different, like an outcast for sure. But then,
Did you
over
must have
time.
missed it? You must have missed L.A. then. If you were
Yeah.
like, so used to doing all that stuff, and you're like, it feels like you're. I would feel like I was trapped or something.
I mean, I was so young at the time, so I was like, you're 9,
Just roll with the punches.
roll with the punches, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was different. I'm really glad I went because I mean, I can't imagine I'd be such a different person. Yeah,
'Cause
I
you-
like
Yeah.
the way I turned out.
That's good.
And I love my Madison friends,
Yeah.
and I'm still like real close with all of them. So,
That's good news.
yeah, I don't know. Moving's good.
Uh,
It makes you change a lot.
sure. I've moved a bunch.
Yeah, me too.
Lived in Florida.
Oh, really?
I lived in Chicago, L.A., New York. That's pretty much it. But sometimes I go back and forth and stuff.
Yeah, you're from Florida.
I'm from Long Island.
Oh, really? So you moved from Long Island to Florida?
To Florida to go to school for a couple years at art school.
Cool. Which one?
Called Reynolds School of Art and Design.
Oh, cool.
In Sarasota. And then didn't go great there. And then I decided to be an actor. Moved back to Long Island. Commuted into Manhattan for 4 years, taking classes and doing improv. And
what years was that?
That was, let's see, I graduated in 93, but I took a year off, so 94, 5, like 95 to 97, I was in Florida, something like that. And then, so that makes sense. So, like 97 to 01.
Wow.
Something like that.
Is that where you met your gal pal?
No, my gal pal I met in LA.
Okay.
9 years ago.
Wow. Because I know you guys have been dating for a while.
Yeah, 9 years. You got a gal pal?
I do. Yeah, her name's Bianca. She's a children's book illustrator.
Is she? Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her first book comes out in August.
I wanted to be an illustrator.
Yeah.
Her first book. Oh, that's cool. What's it called?
The One Day House.
The Wonder House?
The One Day House.
The One Day House.
Yeah, she illustrated it, and then another gal, Julia Durango, wrote it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. The book got accepted into I don't quite know the title offhand, but it's like this library association where they pick the top 400 some books of the year, and her book got into it. So,
Sweet.
Which is cool. It's like her first one, and I guess 95% of the books go on to get either good reviews or awards and stuff.
It's awesome.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What school did she go to? You know?
She went to RISD.
Oh yeah, that's a good school.
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's a good school.
Yeah, I visited somebody up there once. I think. Did I? I think I did a long time ago.
Yeah, it was fun visiting because we started dating in college, and then I would go. I didn't really go to college, I was just doing comedy in Chicago, and
Yeah.
so it was fun to go to such an extreme college environment, in such a
Structured.
like a very esoteric collegiate experience. It was very artsy and hip, and everyone was working. It was really cool.
And you're like, hey, let's do bits.
Yeah. Well, one of my best friends from high school went there, so I would go visit Bianca, and then I would see my best friend from high school, and then so they were just a mess those weekends because my friend and I we would drink a lot,
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
So
how'd you meet her then? You met her in, did you say college?
I met her in college. I met her in Chicago
In Chicago.
because my buddy Ben was visiting me. He's like, "Oh, you want to hang out with my college friend?" Because Bianca's born and raised in Chicago, in Pilsen.
But were you going to college in Chicago? Or
Sorta. I went to Columbia for a little bit. So a little film school there.
a year or something?
Yeah, maybe year and a half, 2.
Okay.
But I dropped out, and I feel like everybody does from Columbia. I think it has a 20% graduation rate.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? No good?
It's good. It's it's one of those schools where you get out what you put in, Okay. So they're very, especially the film school, it's they give you cameras right away. Your first film basic core class, you learn how to shoot on 16 millimeter and digital, and you have to edit your own stuff. So it's very, I feel from a technical aspect, a lot of people go on to do really well and get jobs. But I think that's kind of what it is. You go to the school and then you just get a job, you start working on something, and then you drop out.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it.
I think a bunch of comedians from Chicago did. My roommate Gary did.
Okay.
My friend Joey went, dropped out. Friend CJ went, dropped out. I feel they're all comics, and I think that's just what you do.
Through Gateway.
To dropping out.
Yeah, Gateway School. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, this podcast is ruined.
Oh no, is it okay?
No, I'm just joking. It's good. This thing's taking a beating. You still recording? Still recording. Perfect.
Nice. Well, that'll be good.
We'll try this again.
Is that hit done?
Nope.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no.
That's okay.
Oh, you're good. Still recording?
Yeah, I'll edit. I may edit this out. Maybe I'll just leave it.
You may as well leave it. Organic.
All right, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so you guys meet in Chicago. You hit it off in Chicago. Love at first sight, or friends first, or
Well, I had seen her around before visiting Ben and RISD, but she had a boyfriend, and I don't know what I was doing. And then, after that one summer, I was really into her.
Yeah.
So then I pursued her and stuff.
Okay, and then you did long distance, I guess.
Yeah, we did long distance. We're still doing long distance right now.
Oh, where's she?
She's in Chicago.
Oh, she's in Chicago.
She's teaching right now until end of May.
Teaching illustration?
Mm-hmm. She's teaching like after school at a high school.
At Columbia?
No. Yeah. High school called Solario. It's like 55th, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Oh, wow. So you guys do a long distance a lot, I guess. So me and my girlfriend
Yeah.
did long distance, too. We did, when I was in Chicago the whole time I was there.
She was in LA?
Yeah.
How was that?
Really difficult.
Really?
Really fucking difficult.
Yeah. You're sad?
Yeah.
Lonely?
That was part of it. I mean, yeah, it's just like difficult. We made a promise to see each other every month.
Yeah.
Or give or take. Mm-hmm. And we did pretty good. The most we would go without seeing each other was 5 weeks. And then sometimes we get together and we might still be together for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, we might even be together for a month or something. But we did pretty good. But it was hard. It was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to figure out my life in Chicago.
Right.
And she was doing her thing in LA and stuff. And it got really difficult at times. And then after a while, it's like, okay, well, we're still together.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you should move back.
Yeah, no. Wait, why didn't you just move to LA? You wanted to stay in Chicago?
We met in LA. I lived in LA for 5 years.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sorry. I forgot that part. So from New York and all that commuting and taking classes and all that stuff, from here, Long Island, I moved to LA.
Okay.
In 2003. I stayed there for 5 years. Right before I left, I met her.
Okay.
And we were going to split off when I moved
to Chicago.
To Chicago because I had already planned to do it before we met.
Why'd you want to move to Chicago?
Because I moved to LA to be an actor, and my eyes were getting worse, and it just seemed less likely, I guess. And I was like, maybe I should figure out something else to do, you know. And I still loved improv, so I knew I could do that. And of course, I'm hanging out at IO West every day for 5 years, so all I hear about is Chicago.
Yeah.
And I visited once or twice, and I really liked it. And the public transportation's great. It's cheaper because I needed to stop driving,
right,
and all that stuff. So it just made sense.
It must have been nuts.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. So I moved, and then shortly after, she changed her mind and wanted to stay together. And so let's try it. Let's try staying together.
That's good.
And I was like, all right. Well, I was like, all right. I don't have a lot of hope for this, really. Because, you know, long distance generally is not a good thing.
Right.
It's really difficult. It strains the relationship a lot.
Was she on True Blood at that point?
She was on True Blood at that point.
So she had the means to visit.
But
LA to Chicago is like far. It's expensive.
Yeah. And if she's working on True Blood, she can't go anywhere. So that meant I had to go. Because of her in LA, and you know, so we had to figure that stuff out. You know, it got tricky.
For sure.
But luckily, you're right. She's got a good job, so she's like, "Hey, I can afford now to fly, you know, back and forth, and she could pay for me and whatever."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, let's see what happens," because I loved her a lot.
It's commitment.
So it's commitment, exactly. And then after 3 years, I was like, "Well, I still got nothing going on, so I guess I'll move back."
That's cool. I didn't know that. I just assumed, because I mean, we like sort of knew each other. We would do some shows together.
Yeah, Carl and the Passions.
But I just assumed that you were in Chicago for a while and then moved to LA.
Yeah, nope. I love Chicago though, and I'd still probably be there if Deb and I, you know, if something happened, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's a cool town.
Yeah, I love it. Where'd you live there?
Where'd I live?
Yeah.
Kind of like sporadically around the north side.
Okay. Yeah, I was in Andersonville.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's a nice spot.
Yeah, I was in, I guess you could say, Lincoln Park, and then like Irving Park, and then Wrigleyville, then Belmont. I mean, I had some insane apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last apartment I had there was, you had to go down 3 different alleyways to get to it. And it was like on Belmont and Clark, but in the alley behind that subway. And it was bonkers. I mean, it wasn't even like regulation. Like it got shut down now, you know. But like the landlord, we didn't have a mailbox. We had to get the mail from this bodega. The landlord,
A bodega?
yeah, we like moved in, and then the neighbor downstairs like described the landlord as a slumlord. We were like, okay, and then she was like describing the rat problem. We're like,
Ew.
what?
Winner.
And then the gal who was downstairs turned out to be a prostitute.
Oh, of course.
So there would be like strange men waiting on our door with like a 6-pack of beer and stuff, like waiting to come in.
And your mail. Hey,
and our mail, I know. And her boyfriend was on parole, and then he was living in our garage, like on the couch.
Right.
So like I'd go in there, and he'd like have a laptop and a couch and like his ankle bracelet and stuff.
Oh no!
And I'd just be doing laundry. And they had crazy dogs. She had her dad also lived there, and he would beg for change in the street, then take a piss on our front doorstep, so like it always smelled like urine. And at one point, he took a shit on the back step of Subway.
No, what happened?
I mean, it was crazy. Cops came like 4 different times for like disturbances. Like some other guy who sort of lived there too was there, and they were. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. They were both arguing at the police, and he was like, "She's a prostitute, you know that. You should do something." And she was like, "Well, he's selling crack. Like he's doing this." And then the cops were like, to the guy, like, "So if we look you up, you're not gonna have a criminal record." He was like, "I don't have a criminal record. I'm clean. Nothing." Yeah. If we look you up, are we going to find something? He's like, "Nope." Like, are you sure this is your last chance? He's like, okay, well, I did get busted selling crack one time, but I swear to God. It's like, okay.
Wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Wasn't my crack.
We would have crust punks were living in our dumpsters.
What is this? Like, crust punks?
Like, people call them like crust punks or gutter punks. I don't know if that's like a very correct term, but they're essentially...
They're very offended by that term.
I don't... I mean, you see, I don't really know what to call them, but they're, I think they're like homeless people, like nomadic homeless people who have dogs. Oh. And they're like typically like white kids, Mm-hmm. But they were living in our dumpster, like outside our house.
So would you throw garbage in the dumpster? They're like,
thanks? We would. I mean, they were living behind it, So, but it was, you can't be like, you guys should leave. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want you sleeping outside my window. Like, I don't want you sleeping underneath me.
That does not sound like a good living situation.
John. No. And funny, because everyone who lived in that house moved outside of the state within, like, 5 months or something.
Oh, no. You should have moved to Andersonville. It's real nice up there.
I should have. I didn't think I was going to be in Chicago. So my roommates at the time, we got kicked out of our old apartment. Because we had this apartment on Wrigleyville that we would throw like house shows in and stuff. We had like Kill All Comedy was a sketch collective we had, and we'd throw like shows in the house, or we let our buddy Marty shoot a whole movie in the house for like 2 months. Okay. And we even let Drunk History film like an episode in our house. Did you really? Yeah, so we just kind of let anybody use the house for whatever, and it was trashed. And we never saw our landlords for 5 years. And then one day they came, and they're like, "This place is a mess. Oh, no. You've ruined this place. You are evicted." And I had to have like a meeting with them about it.
Did you tell them that it was on Drunk History?
Yeah,
it's famous. It's famous now.
It was funny because my buddy Carmen, he's like, he's a little bad boy, but he's very funny in conversation. Sometimes people don't know when he's messing with you, and he was messing with the landlords the whole time during the interview. Well, he kept telling them that they couldn't evict us because I was like a star and I was on Carl and the Passions. It's like they don't know what this improv scene is or would give a shit. And he's like, "You can't evict us. My boy's on Carl and the Passions."
That's a big deal.
And it was, there was one point like voices were getting, louder and louder, and Carmen just halts everything by being like, "And you know what else? The people upstairs, they're gay people." And the landlords, everyone was just like, "Carmen, oh my God." And then it was just like, everyone stopped yelling, like, "Okay, well, let's continue on."
Sounds like mayhem.
Yeah.
How are you with chaos like that? Are you okay with it?
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes I think it's funny and I like it as well. But sometimes I can't handle it.
Yeah, I would not be able to handle that.
No. I have a couple of friends who are really good at that and they're very funny. but I'm like embarrassed by it sometimes.
Yeah. Did you grow up in chaos at all?
Not really.
It doesn't sound like it.
And you know, I'm like, I don't feel like chaos is like a very Midwest thing.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the Midwest is very like if there's a problem, we solve it and then don't talk about it. You know,
Pretending that happened.
like sometimes if I'm like to my family, like I'm sad, like I feel sad. Why? Why are you sad? What's happening? Well, let's stop this. Like you need help. It's like okay, I don't know. Instead I'm sad. You know, I can like allowed to be sad. We don't have to like fix it and move on. You know.
Yeah, that's funny. So do you ever go to therapy or anything?
I haven't gone to therapy, no.
No. Ever
But
wanted to?
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought about it. I think I should. For the longest time, I didn't go because I was so broke. But you know, now I have a
There's
job.
cheaper ways to get therapy too. You know.
That's
I've been
true.
going for like 8 years,
Yeah,
on and off, mostly on for 8 years. It's good. I like it.
you like it?
Yeah, it helps.
Everyone that I know that goes loves it.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. But yeah, it can get pricey. It can
Yeah.
get pricey. I started going in Chicago actually.
Was it cheap there?
I was free because I was going to this place called the Lighthouse for the Blind.
Oh, cool.
So they had like a free therapist there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I went for like 2 years to this guy.
I mean, that must have been crazy going through that when you were losing your eyesight.
Yeah, well, I'm still losing it.
Yeah.
Still losing it. So
Degenerative.
yeah. So yeah, it is.
Do you talk about that a lot on your podcast?
Yeah, I've talked about it a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, if you have questions, you're welcome to ask me.
I mean-
I don't hide it or anything.
I don't have any specific questions. I just wonder, like, how was it? How do you feel? Was it? I mean, especially because you said you want to be an actor, and then it was like having that realization that maybe I should do something else seems hard.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've had a lot of maybe I should do this instead moments of my life. I'm very misdirected, I guess, and I grew up wanting to be an artist and wanting to draw and all that stuff. Went to art school. It didn't work out there.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, I always wanted to be an actor. I always thought about it, but I was really shy as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I'll do that. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to switch focus and go into acting.
Yeah.
And move back to Long Island, and commute and do all this stuff. And I fell in love with improv right away. And
Are you like a very pragmatic guy?
how so? What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, just it seems like you've made a lot of decisions, but be like, I was trying this and it's not working. I will try this. As opposed to like, I feel like a lot of people never have that realization. They're like, I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Keep going.
Obviously, this is
don't
what
know.
I should do.
Maybe that's working against me too. Like maybe I should have stuck with the art thing.
Right.
Who knows? I don't know. But
Because you're a big comic book fan, right?
love comic books. Yeah. I still love comic books, and I love art. But I just I haven't drawn in 20 years now. I haven't really done that in like 20 years.
You got to do it.
Gotta do it.
I feel like that's. I wish I could draw better. I think I have like a style of drawing that's my own, but it's not. I'm not technically trained or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like my girlfriend and I will draw together. Like we'll do that thing where she'll draw and then pass to me, and then I'll add and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But she's so good.
Yeah.
You
can just let her do it all.
I mean, I'll try, but it gets so hard. And she's really good at like looking at it in a funny, creative way. Where it's like, I wouldn't even thought to add that.
Yeah.
It's like that's so funny that you added that.
Have you ever thought? You write stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You ever thought about like writing a children's book and having her illustrate it?
I mean, she talks about that a lot, and she wants to make like an animation together, a cartoon. I think the like the genre intimidates me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because if I was gonna write an animation or a children's book, I'd want to write a good one, and I don't feel like I'm very good at writing specifically for something.
Right.
I feel like I'm good at writing my own stuff, but I don't know. It would intimidate me I really like graphic novels and stuff, and they're so great, but they're a specific type of humor that I don't know.
Yeah. Are you a comic book guy?
I like. I wouldn't say I'm not like a Marvel universe or a DC or anything like that. But I like Charles Burns and Daniel Klaus, and I like Crumb and Crawwell, and I just read this gal that I really love. Her name was Liz Suburbia. She wrote a graphic novel called Sacred Heart.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Yeah, maybe do something like that.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work for your girlfriend.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I need 122 drawn pages.
Yeah, I know. Or 400 or whatever.
400 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
I
maybe
interrupted you though. So
about the
you were talking about like knowing that you were going blind and wanting to go back into comedy and stuff.
right. Well, I made the decision to move to LA from New York, but right before I moved, I got diagnosed. I didn't know before then.
How did you went in? You were like, I'm having trouble seeing, or what?
My brother has it too, so he had a bunch of tests done for other stuff, but it just so happened that a doctor saw something in his eyes and was like, something's going on in his eyes. My grandfather was blind, so I knew that was a thing.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so then once my brother got diagnosed, then we all got tested, and then it just turned out that my sister's a carrier, my mom's a carrier. Now my sister since then has had 2 boys, and they both have it.
Wow.
So it's just, it's one of those things. And then ever since then, I started.
At least you guys have each other all going through it.
Yeah, yeah, in some way. But, it tests relationships too. You know what I mean? It's not, you don't automatically go, oh boy, well, let's all get closer.
Yeah.
Let's all get closer. It's like, no, we're all like freaked out by it, you know? And there was a lot of just, I felt like it was being covered up for a lot of years for my, I was 27 when I found out.
Yeah.
So I felt like, why didn't I know about this sooner? I knew my grandfather was blind.
Right.
Why didn't we
assume this was going to happen?
Why wasn't this more of a concern?
That is wild.
Yeah.
So you must have been like, I could have been planning for this.
I could have, yeah.
But that's no way to...
That would have been nice, actually, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I would have preferred that. Because, I was seeing side effects growing up, but I didn't know what it was. So I would not see things or bump into things or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I can't, But you don't think, oh, I'm going blind. That doesn't pop into your head. You're just like, oh, I'm clumsy or, whatever.
You would just have these little moments where the side effects?
Yeah. And I can piece it together. I didn't know enough about it. It was hard.
It's hard to know what's like a serious thing or what is just
right.
Oh, this is like a normal anomaly of your human body.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know what other people could see or whatever. I just know what I'm seeing.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it was tricky. It was tricky. With you and your girlfriend, how often do you guys get to see each other?
A good amount. I mean,
every month, you'd say?
Oh yeah, every month.
Oh, that's good.
Probably the same thing. Like longest we'd go is like 5 weeks. But she was here last couple weekends, and or I'll go to Chicago, or during the holidays, we'll go somewhere or something. But yeah, it's been good. I mean, last year was a crazy year for us, just because. So when I moved to New York, Bianca went to Ireland for grad school. Oh. So we broke up, and we were broken up for like a whole year and a few months.
Whoa.
And had both been seeing like other people.
Oh, wow.
And then, met up in New York to kind of just like say hi, and then realized that we were like still in love with each other.
Aww.
So
were you still dating other people?
She was dating someone.
She was still with that guy?
She was dating someone in Ireland.
Oh.
I was single at the time. But, so we ended up getting married together. And I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't go back to Ireland, because she was going to go back there and live there for at least another year.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, if you do that, like, we're never going to be together. Yeah. So I was like, maybe you should just stay, and we'll try to make it work. So she said, yeah, I don't know why. But she said, yeah. And that was crazy, and it was hard, because she had been living in, like, an unincorporated town in Ireland. So it was just, like, the smallest, like, little town with, a bunch of animals everywhere and just green grass and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm living in New York, which is the polar opposite.
Right.
So it was kind of culture shock for her, but also I didn't have an apartment because I was working on Stranger Things, which was in Atlanta. So I was living in a hotel. So she kind of lived with me in a hotel and then sort of lived at home. And that was very strange.
Yeah, that must have been hard for her because she has nothing to do in Atlanta.
Right. She was working on her book, which was good. But I mean, also you need a space and her materials and stuff. So it was very strange and it was hard.
That's a Stranger Thing.
It was a Stranger Thing, yeah.
Right?
Because, I mean, if you don't have, like, a home or a base, it is really hard.
And you were in almost every episode of that, right?
I'm in every episode.
You're in every episode.
Of season 1, yeah.
Of season 1. And, but what was the schedule like for Stranger Things?
Not bad for me. Because, I mean, I don't do a ton in the show. But, there would be...
8-day or whatever, 8-day shoot or something?
Well, I mean, the actual episode blocks were kind of long, so they would just have me down there. So I would shoot maybe a couple days of the week, and then I would have like 5 days off. Yeah. I was just living in a hotel and hanging out in Atlanta.
What do you do with those 5 days?
I tried to explore. I would like play basketball in the park or, bike around, go to bookstores. I read like a bunch, watched a bunch of movies. I would go out by myself a lot, like to bars, and like just try to go.
Did you bond with other people in the cast? Hang out with them?
No, not really, because the cast is either like way younger or way older than me. Right. So there's only a couple people who are actually like around my age that were down there.
How old are you? Can I ask?
I'm 25.
You're 25?
Yeah, I'm 25.
You're so young.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how young you were.
Uh-huh.
You're so young.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so old. I feel so old.
Well, I started in Chicago at 18, like in high school.
Wow. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. You had no idea all these years?
No idea.
That's funny.
No idea, because you were in Chicago and you were, you're tall.
Uh-huh.
I think that throws off age for me.
I think, it throws. A lot of people think I'm way older. Some people think I'm 40 or something.
Yeah, I'm 40.
Yeah.
I'm 41, actually.
Yeah, we kind of look the same age.
Yeah. Wow, 25. That's 25. So wild.
Yeah, but I hung out with the sound guys a lot.
Okay.
There's this guy, Joey, who was on sound for season 1, and him and I would go out. He took me to a Krampus pub crawl and stuff like that.
Right.
He was a sweet guy.
That was cool.
Yeah.
What are you in season 2?
Yeah, they're shooting right now. I'm in a few episodes, and they're being real secretive, so I don't really know when I go back.
Gotcha.
Or if I go back,
Oh, okay. You don't even know if you're in it or anything.
Well, I'm in season 2, and I've already shot a few episodes.
Oh, I see.
But they, I think, continue shooting till April, and
I see.
I don't know
on
what
hold or something. Are you something like that? I see.
So I'm on hold, and they could
Georgia again, right? Georgia.
Yeah, and this year was better. They would just fly me down, and then I would shoot, and then they'd fly me out. So there wasn't a lot of sticking around.
That's nice.
It was nice.
Just be in your own home. And,
I know. And this is finally I have an apartment.
Yeah.
So last year I didn't have an apartment, so I would have them. They would, if they didn't want me to stay in the hotel, they would be like, "Yeah, we'll fly you home." But I didn't have a home, so I would just abuse the power and visit my friends I hadn't seen in a while. So I'd just have production fly me to Seattle, and I'd go hang out with my friend for a week.
That's cool.
Until they wanted to bring me back, and then they fly me back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It was fun.
So you've been with your girlfriend now for how many years?
If you count
the year you had off.
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah, if you count the year we had off, 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah, but without 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And she's handling the distance stuff good, pretty well.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's the same thing. Sometimes you get lonely or you get jealous because the other person doing something cool.
Yeah. And
you want to be doing something cool because you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. It makes the times that you're together more special.
Yeah.
And I think for a while it was hard because for a while, if we had been apart for that 5 weeks or something, there'd always be some sort of big conversation to get you back on the same page,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you guys lived together officially?
But in May, she's moving here.
May,
And
she's moving here in this apartment with these other dudes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we have this whole basement. It's like kind of a little apartment.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, I mean, she's known those two guys for as long as she's known me.
Okay.
And they're like, they're like brothers.
All right.
So it's
all right,
good,
man. Well,
It'll
congratulations.
be fun. Thanks.
Are you performing out here?
Yep. Performing out here.
What are you doing? Where at?
Well, there's the Alliance out here.
Right.
So I'm
I heard
performing
that's going to close though.
Yeah, it's gonna close.
Or is it going to
bummer.
move? Is it going to move, or is it just going to totally close?
I don't know. I mean, I hope that they move, but for the time being, it seems like they're just gonna close.
Okay.
But I think they're gonna move to hopefully if they can find another space. But yeah, it had been awesome having it out here, and so it'll be a bummer when it goes.
Were you teaching there?
No, I didn't teach there.
You didn't teach.
But I did. I had a couple of shows there that I ran, and then I do the Holy Fuck Comedy Hour. We still do that here. It was like a Chicago show, but we brought it out here, so I do that every week. And then a bunch of Chicago people run an improv show called Michael Jordan Steakhouse.
Okay.
And I do that every week here. And then Matt,
Is the theater still open?
theater's still open.
For how much longer?
Another month and a half. No, another month.
Another month.
Just 1 month.
Okay, so you're still performing there, all right? I'll try to come see you.
Yeah.
I'll try to come see you. I'm here for another couple weeks or so.
Oh, cool. Matt Baratz and I, we wrote a show that we do at UCB. It's called like the Sadie Hawkins Day. It's like a little sketch play.
Nice.
And we've been running that for a long time, since the summer, but it's closing Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. So you should come to that.
Okay, I'll try to close on Wednesday.
Yeah, UCB Chelsea.
Text me info if you can.
Yeah.
If you think of it.
Yeah. But yeah, there and then just random other places in town.
Yeah.
How
do you like performing here as compared to Chicago?
I really like it. I like the crowds here. They seem more eager to laugh, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a different brand of humor, I suppose. Every place is different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved Old I.O. in Chicago. It was like the cabaret at the Old I.O. in Chicago. I think it was like my favorite place to perform ever.
Yeah.
So,
fun.
when it closed, it's like...
It's sad.
Yeah, and the new theater's kind of...
Different.
It's like a Walmart or something.
Yeah, I always compare it to Costco.
Yeah.
It feels like a Costco. It's
like,
just big.
What is happening?
It's just huge. I think it just needs...
Such
we're just
a
not
disconnect.
used to it. We're just not used to it,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... It smells like a Costco.
Yeah.
And there's such a disconnect from the audience to the stage.
Right.
As opposed to the old space was... Like they were on top of you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on your feet.
And, it just smelled like a theater and, you could like feel it.
30-year-old theater.
It really did. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And, if you're having a good show, it's like the laughter, carried so well in the theater and there's like such a good energy to it.
That was nice.
It was awesome.
That was nice. Do you get to perform with Carl when you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice to be able to go back and have somebody to jump in with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those guys.
I love those guys. Yeah, I love Noah and Tracy and Chad and them.
TJ and Linda.
TJ. Yeah. I heard Bill's in LA. Have you seen Bill Baylor?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I loved him. He was so funny.
What made you move from Chicago to here instead of LA? Most people move to LA from Chicago.
Yeah. I like visiting LA. As of now, I don't think I want to live there. Mm-hmm. It's so spread out, and the live comedy scene doesn't seem to be very alive, Mm-hmm. And I feel like nobody really cares.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of my friends are moving to New York, and I had a lot of friends here. My sister was here, and I had always wanted to live here. And the comedy scene seemed like it was still sort of like a living, breathing thing that, people cared about, so you could gain traction with your shows and still get better,
Right.
So I still kind of wanted, because in Chicago, you're doing so many shows a week. There were some weeks where I was doing, 10, 13 shows a week in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I wanted some place where I could keep doing that. And New York was
Best option.
best option.
Yeah.
I mean, I still perform probably 4 times a week here, which is good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. which is good. So yeah, I don't know. I like it. I feel like also for yeah, I don't know if this is like it's probably not even true, but I just feel like there's something special about like being the person from Chicago or New York to like casting directors or something because they don't really know you. So they're like, oh, you should see this person because they're like a mystery or something. But in LA, there just seems to be so saturated with people.
Yeah.
I find it so hard to just stand out.
Are you getting after Search Party and after Stranger Things? Are you getting like more auditions and stuff like that?
I guess. Well, it's hard because I can't do any television really,
Right?
Because of like contractual stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have seen the show and like a lot of people that I admire, so that's been really cool.
Yeah.
So
Did you recognize on the street or anything?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right? Weird,
Yeah.
but cool.
It's weird. It's cool. It's funny. Some guy the other day at a bar was like asked me if I was in Search Party. I was like, yes, I am. And then he proceeded to tell me I was dressed identical to my character in the show. And I was like, well, I'm not. I was like, well, I'm not even dressed like that. And I like took offense to it. Not really, but I was like, well, fuck you.
Let me get a selfie.
I know, yeah. Yeah, but not too much, but a little bit.
I loved Search Party.
Thanks, man.
I really enjoyed it. How'd you get that?
Auditions,
I guess.
Yeah, I just auditioned. The casting director for that had tried to put me in another show years ago, and the executives, like I essentially got it, and then the executives at the network said no because I had never acted in anything else.
Right.
And they didn't trust me. They thought I was going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
So they said no. I was like, kind of crushed. But then,
what was the show? Can you say?
It was a Man Seeking Woman.
Oh, okay.
On FX.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you would have been Jay's part?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I had like gone to LA and tested, and then they said that I was like the choice. And then everyone's like, "Oh, it'd be crazy if the network says no," because everyone's wants you to like do it. And then it was like months later of like just like waiting to hear, and then they said no. And I had even like taped. I like went back in and retaped the auditions with like Jonathan Kreisel, and then Kreisel came to Chicago, and then we even like reshot the sides with like a real good camera and like actual scenes, with like an actress, and then they still said no. So I guess I didn't do a very good job.
Oh.
Yeah, but I can never tell. I also feel like this part of me is like they just wanted Jay Baruchel to do it the whole time.
Yeah.
And then they like use me as leverage or something.
Yeah, I don't know how that stuff works. My girlfriend auditions for things all the time. She gets real close, and then sometimes they just offer it to
Somebody else.
Scarlett Johansson or somebody like that. They don't even have to audition. They just go, "Would you want to do?" You're like, why didn't you do that in the first place? If that's what you wanted to do. Yeah, it's a weird business. Mm-hmm. It's a weird business.
Yeah, but then that casting director like told the people at Search Party like, "Oh, this guy's really good. You should see him." And then I auditioned, and then we shot a pilot like independent of a network, and then they sold it to TBS. So like they had the pilot and then sold it to TBS.
Is that what aired, the pilot?
The pilot aired, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And then we, then the next summer shot the whole show.
Wow. How many months in between the pilot and the rest?
Pilot was in June, and then we didn't start shooting until March, April, something like that.
Oh, well, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
10 months or something.
Yeah. So that was kind of stressful, like waiting to see if the show even get picked up.
Yeah.
And then when it did get picked up, it was like, yeah, but it's not going to shoot forever. And I was like, oh, I'm so broke. Like this is a disaster.
Oh, God. Have you been, like, now you're working before, how were you making money?
Well, I had an understudy job at the Second City in Chicago.
Okay.
And I wrote ads in Chicago.
Okay.
And then I taught basketball in Chicago, too, for the British school.
Okay.
It's a bunch of low-rich kids.
Okay.
Yeah. They would, like, come to basketball and be like, I have a basketball court in my basement. Be like, awesome. That's my dream.
In your basement?
Yeah. Or I'd be like, my dad took us to the Bulls game last night. We had box tickets. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Another dream of mine. Yeah, then when I moved out here, I worked at a bagel shop.
Out here.
And I walked dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Where did do your parents still work?
Yep.
What do they do?
My mom is like a VP at this company called Maurice's. It's like a women's retail store.
Okay.
And then my dad is a air purifying consultant.
Oh, okay. They always do that stuff?
Yeah, my dad's done that forever for a bunch of different companies. And then my mom has been in like retail and e-commerce forever.
What did they think when you wanted to go into acting?
They were really supportive. I don't think that they knew that I was like any good or even had any kind of ambition to do it because I was like pretty outgoing with my friends at high school, but at home I was really quiet.
Right.
I don't know why. Just being like a teenager and stuff. I couldn't really explain it.
I get it. I was extra quiet in my house too.
Yeah.
I'm from Long Island. It's a very loud place. Everybody there is very loud and big. And so,
is your family loud and big?
Yeah, they can be. Yeah.
Because you don't seem like that.
No, I was the quiet one in the house.
Yeah.
I would let them. It was like too hard to yell over everybody. So I was just like, all right, well, you guys do your thing, and I'll just go in the basement and watch TV.
Yeah.
And draw comics and stuff,
Yeah. I feel like maybe that's a normal teenager thing to do. I always wish I just acted normal, though.
Yeah.
When I think back, I'm like, I wish I was just smarter.
Me too.
And more comfortable with myself.
Are you taught? Did you just take improv classes, or did you take acting classes as well? Or?
No, just I took improv classes, and then it was really helpful working at the Second City, to study scripts and act in them.
Right.
So that honestly, I think that was like a big help.
Yeah. Have you thought about taking classes like now?
I've thought about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's better.
Yeah.
Like to just keep trying to work and get better.
Yeah.
Or to try to study.
Well, I don't mean like just stop working and study, but you could do both or something.
Yeah. I also don't like the school. So like learning in a class like that and like rehearsals and stuff. Right. I don't think I would particularly like it.
Yeah.
I don't even like rehearsing for. Anything. Yeah. I don't like rehearsing for anything.
City and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have to audition with Alia?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I made
There wasn't like a chemistry test or anything like that.
I think the pilot was a chemistry test. Like if you sucked in the pilot, you could be, written out or something.
Right.
But I was definitely the last piece that they added. I think they were originally thinking about giving the role to Griffin Newman, who was he ended up playing like the ex-boyfriend that comes over for dinner. Okay. Gavin.
Right.
And he's a really funny guy. He's like a really good actor too. He's he's Arthur in the new Tick.
Oh, yes. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think they were originally going to give the part to him, and then I auditioned, and they're like, actually, we need to do this guy. And then I got it. And then,
Sweet.
Yeah, we had like a table read, and then we shot the pilot, and then I did well enough in that they wanted to keep me around.
Well, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it. It was a real big cliffhanging type of ending of the season. That was really surprising.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, oh shit! Well, it made me think of Bloodline. Have you seen Bloodline?
I haven't finished it, but I love Ben Mendelsohn.
He's great. Did you see the first season?
No, I haven't finished the first season.
You haven't finished? Okay, well, I don't want to say too much, but
I know the whole season they show that clip of him like carrying his brother in the water and stuff. So
yeah, so something goes down.
Yeah,
I won't want to spell.
Maybe I should just finish it now.
I'm
right intrigued now.
It's so good. It's so good. But it's one of those things where you go, oh shit, and then for the next season, this thing happened because you guys are covering up a murder, which by the way, you killed him.
Yeah, I know. I think my mom doesn't like the show because I killed somebody. And she doesn't really talk to me about it.
And it's one of those things that's like, oh, this could be fixed. just say what happened.
Yeah.
It was self-defense, and you didn't mean to kill the guy. You were just trying to get him off. This can all be mended. This could all be mended. But instead, you're like, panic, throw him in the fucking closet. Now you're making things worse.
Yeah. The whole thing can be avoided if they just
Right.
talk. It's so frustrating. Like, even Drew and Dory's relationship, it's like one conversation, the show doesn't even happen.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They have like one long good talk. They don't have this problem where she wants to like go off and investigate a murder and like.
Right. Or even, then she's with Ron Livingston.
Yeah.
And you're with your neighbor.
Uh-huh.
And all this stuff is going on.
Livingston was really funny. He was cool.
Ron Livingston?
Yeah, I liked him.
He's great. Office Space guy.
Office Space guy.
Come on.
He was cool, yeah. When we dumped his body in the closet,
Right.
I was like, "Are you okay, man?" He was like, "Yeah, whatever. Just toss me in. Whatever's funniest." It was like throwing Ron Livingston into a closet, like hearing him fall in there and be like, up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I did featured extra. I don't know. I did like 5 days of extra work on a pilot that he did
Oh, cool.
many years ago. I didn't have any interaction with him, but it was a show called Standoff that only lasted like less than a season. I think they only aired like a few episodes or something.
Oh, cool. Did he meet his wife on that show?
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe. Who's his wife?
I don't know, but I think they met on a show,
Okay.
like a
I'm going to say
procedural.
yes. I'm going to say yes. It's
Okay.
that show.
Okay. Nice.
And I introduced them. So it's all because of me.
That's good.
Yeah, I love Ron Livingston. You've had a bunch of cool people on that show. I love Christine Taylor
Yeah, she was cool.
and
Rosie Perez.
Parker Posey,
Uh-huh.
Christine Ebersol. Did you get to hang out with any of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, hang out, not really, but I mean, like on set.
Yeah,
Yeah, Christine Taylor was super sweet, and Rosie was really funny.
yeah.
Livingston was very nice.
Did you tell her that white men can jump?
No.
Rosie Perez, did you tell her that?
I didn't tell her
Did
that.
you play basketball?
I do play basketball, but I cannot jump.
Oh, you can? Okay,
No,
never
I'm a
mind.
very
Then it's still true.
A
It's still true.
Dirk-like player, you know.
It is still true.
Yeah, I played last night basketball.
Yeah, how'd you do?
Good. It was fun.
Where do you play?
In Manhattan.
Yeah.
There's like a court, a bunch of like writers and comics have a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we
That's
play.
neat.
It's really nice.
Who do we? Anybody I know in?
Do you know CJ Toledano?
Nope.
He was a Chicago guy. I don't know. No, Joey Dundale. Do you know him? He's
Oh yeah,
Chicago.
Joey's here.
Yeah, Joey's
Oh
here.
shit, that's funny.
Joey played with me last night. And then it's a bunch of New York or LA people.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
At the SAG Awards, you got to go on stage because you guys won.
Uh-huh.
Was that like bizarre being on stage at the SAG Awards?
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Couldn't believe it. When they called our show, I was like, oh no, I have to go on stage.
At least you didn't have to make a speech or anything.
Oh, I know.
David made a great speech though. David Harbour
Yeah, his
made
speech
a
was
fantastic
awesome.
speech.
Yeah.
Winona had some interesting reactions to it.
Yeah, she's gone nuts, huh? I couldn't see her.
Did you see it afterwards?
I saw it afterwards. Well, it's funny because the whole thing is very strange because you walk through all the tables to get up there. So it's like in those tables in the front is just like Denzel and like Meryl Streep and Natalie Portman and stuff.
Royalty, yeah.
So I was like, couldn't even keep my head up. I was like, I'm just keep my head down and keep walking through. And then when we got on stage, there was like a big like spot behind David that you could stand, and I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna stand right behind David while he gives this speech." So I like hung off to the back right, and then I was still kind of like, "This is crazy," and wasn't really paying attention to what David was saying. And then I started paying attention. I was like, "Oh man, he's like giving a great speech," and then you could see the crowd slowly getting into it. Like they were like fist pumping and whooping, and then it was like a standing O, and David was like getting the wrap up sign real hard, and then he was like getting so into it.
Did you know he was going to give a speech like that? If
not like that.
Is there a talk of like, if we win, David's going to accept? Okay, there is.
There's like an email that's like tells you like if Stranger Things is to win, John Reynolds is to walk on stage with the ensemble, and David Harbour will give the speech.
All right, it's very plain.
Very just like okay.
All right, cool. And then Winona's going to make weird faces. Is that in the email?
When we got off stage, she was like, I couldn't really hear David. What was he saying?
Oh, really? She couldn't hear him? She was right next to him.
I don't think she was like really listening, I guess. and she was just like picking up on words, and I don't know what she was doing. It was so odd.
How was that cast?
Cool.
Is that a lot of fun? I love Winona Ryder. Is
She's
she
really
pretty cool to hang out with and set with and stuff?
She's very nice. She's kind of in her own little world a lot of times,
Yeah.
But not in a bad way, like in a fun way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Focused and stuff. Is she a mom now? I don't even know. Does she have kids or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think she has a husband.
She has a husband.
At least a boyfriend.
Okay.
But I think it's her husband.
Okay. Did you know I was at the Stranger Things premiere in LA?
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Cool. I was not.
You weren't there?
I was not there.
Okay, I didn't see you. Because I was like, oh shit. When I saw that you were like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, hey, I know that guy. And I was like, I wonder if he's here. Because it was kind of small.
Yeah.
It wasn't very. It was like in the screen, where the screening was pretty small. I could have just looked around and
did they? How many episodes did they show?
2.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, it was cool because they. You had to be invited, right?
Yeah, but I was invited, but I was in New York, so they were like,
well, you gotta get yourself there.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not gonna fly to go do that.
Yeah, I bet the next season premiere has a bigger budget because
probably
because I watched.
Yeah,
me and Deborah, we loved it.
Nice,
and we even tweeted about it and all this stuff. We put out pictures. We're like, you guys gotta watch Stranger Things.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Awesome. It's kind of in the vein of stuff that you guys like.
Oh yeah, especially me. Well, it's her too, actually. But I was like, it's like E.T. and Super 8 and
it's very E.T.
and Goonies and all this stuff, all this really cool stuff mixed into one bowl. But they had like a cool. You probably already heard that, but they set up like a place where it looked like the house.
Oh yeah,
so you could get pictures taken and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Like that. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll make it the next one. Hopefully Maybe. I get to go too. That'd be
awesome.
If they're like, no, you're not. Last year yes, this year no. Like, come on, man.
And we'll see.
We'll see. They're like, no, we have to get John Reynolds here.
No way. Yeah. It was cool. Nobody recognized me from that show.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. I've like been talking to people about the show, and they don't know I'm in the show.
Is that weird?
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like we were. I mean, why would you? I mean, I look. Like it's just. Why would you remember me or think I? But there's like a dog parade in New York. Where all the dogs dress up. In costumes.
Okay, like, I don't know this.
Yeah. There's in New York in the fall. It's like all the dogs dress up in costumes and stuff, and they parade them around, and it's like the cutest thing. And we went, and there were a lot of Stranger Things costumes for the dogs. That's like funny. A lot of 11 or like waffles or dogs or whatever, and we'd be like petting the dogs and be like, "You like the show?" Stuff like that. And then we'd be like, "We love it." It's like they had no idea that I'm in it. Or like I've been at restaurants where people have Stranger Things shirts and stuff, and I'm like eating next to them. It's like.
Have you considered doing like Comic-Cons and stuff like that yet?
I would love to. It'd be cool. I mean, obviously nobody's asked me to.
Yeah, you could probably put yourself out there though, because I'm sure you could get your own booth or something and sign and take pictures with people. I'm sure that would. I'm sure that you could do that. There's a big AppleCon coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh really?
In New York.
I'd rather probably just want to go.
Yeah.
It's
a way to just make extra money though.
Oh yeah. Because I know David did them. David Harbour did them.
He does those.
Millie did them.
I mean, Stranger Things is such a big show.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They'll take. They'd be thrilled to take you. You know what I mean?
I was on a river rafting trip when it came out.
Oh, Stranger Things?
So I had like no service or nothing.
And then it just exploded. So the biggest thing...
I had no idea it was going to be like that.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing last year, I'd say.
Yeah. I had no idea it was going to be so crazy.
And then poor, Barb? Poor Barb?
Yeah, Barb. Yeah.
That became a whole big thing?
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. Do you get to improvise at all? On the show?
Oh.
Stranger Things? Because sometimes it looks real loose. I'm like, I wonder if that's...
They are pretty lax with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and your kind of partner.
Yeah, me and Rob.
Yeah.
They'll always let me kind of give alternative outs. I don't think they're going to use them. They kind of joke around with me now about, like I'll give outs, like alts, and then I feel like I got a good rapport with the camera guys. They're like all a bunch of old dudes who like love me, but they'll like come up to me and be like, "That's hitting the editing floor so fast," and like walking out, and it's funny.
It's too risky,
natural ribbing or whatever.
That's funny.
But yeah, I definitely was kind of switching up words to make them feel more comfortable, And whenever the script supervisor was around, I'd get really nervous and start forgetting words because I'd want to like have them tight for her.
Right.
And then I remember, like, episode 7, I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, I've been changing some of the words." She was like, "I know.
I'm paying attention.
Like, it's my job to know that
That's
you're
good that they're
changing
not
the words."
So strict about it, though.
Yeah.
It's good because it can get tough. How were the Russo brothers? They right? Is it the Russo?
No, it's not the Russo brothers. The Duffer brothers.
Sorry.
Yeah, Matt and Ross.
Matt and Ross.
They're really nice.
They seem cool. They did like a little introduction to at the premiere and stuff. I was like, oh, they seem cool guys.
They just seem like very kind guys, and I like their directing. They like deliberate a lot together. And take their time. And then Sean Levy directs some too. Yeah, he's directed a bunch of big movies, or he produced Arrival and stuff. Yeah, and he's kind of the opposite. He's like very energetic and like fast paced.
Yeah, I could tell that too. He was there too.
yeah. So it's very funny when he's directing too. It's just such a change of pace, and he's very fun to watch.
Do you on Search Party? Do you get? Is it pretty loose on? I mean, some stuff loose on Search Party.
Yeah, Search Party is way more loose, and I think there's even we change a lot, like right before we shoot too, or in between takes, we'll just be like, "I don't really like this. Can I say this?" Or so it's like very free flowing like that
and collaborative.
Yeah,
like that too.
Especially like the big emotional scenes, Like, well, in rehearsal for those, there's like a lot of talking about why we're saying this, or can we switch this and stuff like that.
Where does that shoot? I know New York, but
in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
Okay. In Greenpoint, it's real close.
In Greenpoint.
Yeah, I mean it's like a 10-minute walk from here. Probably.
Daredevil shoots there.
Yeah.
That's the sets are there.
It isn't Daredevil have, or is that Luke Cage has some in Harlem too?
Luke Cage probably has some in Harlem because it takes place in Harlem.
Right. Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen.
Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen, but the interiors are
the studios.
Yeah, the studios.
I think the Tick's over there too.
The Tick is here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because they shot the pilot here in the same studios that Search Party shoots in.
I love I haven't gotten into the new Tick yet, but the old Tick was so funny.
Yeah.
I watched that with
I watched it when I was little, and I can't remember anything about it.
You're little. You're so young.
But I remember I liked it.
So young.
yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I like the new Tick. I mean, I like Griffin. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And we have I just make fun of him a lot, and vice versa. It's a good rapport,
It was good.
His dad is the best. Griffin's dad produced Squid and the Whale, I think.
Oh, no shit.
And is a professor at NYU, and he taught Sarah Violet and Charles, who did Search Party.
Yeah.
So Griffin's dad would come by set a lot. And
wow.
He was like a very sweet, funny man. I liked him a lot.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I keep getting distracted by your Simpsons. Is that a cell?
No, my girlfriend painted it.
Oh, did she really?
This is cool. From the lottery episode, when the Simpsons go broke because Santa's little helper is sick, right?
Yeah.
And then Marge doesn't buy her lottery ticket and they win,
Are you a big Simpsons fan?
I'm a big Simpsons fan, yeah. I love the Simpsons.
That's been on since before you were born.
Barely. Yeah. I was born in 91, so I think Simpsons aired in, 90?
90, but I think it started in 89 on the Tracy Ullman show,
yeah.
Which I watched.
Yeah.
I'm old. Well, that's really cool.
Have you read the Simpsons oral history?
No. Is that a book?
Yeah, I have it.
No, I did not. I would read that.
It's awesome.
I do a lot of audiobooks these days.
Yeah.
I can still read, but it's just easier. It's just nicer to kind of audiobook it.
Yeah.
But I would check that out.
A lot of people are into audiobooks. I can't do audiobooks. I feel like I have to read them or else I'm not going to retain any information.
I have felt the same way. But keep trying if you want to. If you don't, then don't worry about it.
I feel like certain books are good on audio, especially like first-person narratives or autobiographies.
Yes.
But I
do
tried...
a lot of biography. I do a lot of those.
Yeah, I was on a road trip and I was like wanted to get a audiobook, so I tried to listen to War and Peace, and there were
That'd be hard to even read.
I was so confused because there were so many Russian characters in like the opening like sequences is a dinner party.
Right.
And I was like, who? I was like, who? No, I just like could not tell who was fucking talking.
That's a bad one.
It was really funny. I was like, this has to be the worst book to listen to.
Grab some Stephen King's. I'm a Stephen King
really?
fan. Yeah. So, I mean, the smaller, but like the ones that don't have 50 characters in it, you know.
Yeah.
Like the smaller, like Misery is a good one, you know, something like that. I just listened to Gerald's Game. That's a really good one.
He has so many books.
He has so many books. I'm listening to It right now.
I read a lot of it, and I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
Well, I thought it was just very hardcore 90s writing, and it was like a lot of it was outdated. Because, like, the book,
Okay.
I mean...
It was written in the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But, you know, it was like... It just seemed like it was cool to, like, push the envelope or something. Because, I mean, it says, like... I feel like this is true, but the first, like, 100 pages were, like, riddled with a bunch of, like, faggot or the N-word and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if that's necessary. Or like if I, you know.
Stephen King.
And I was like, I feel like this was just like very of the times writing or something.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, sure.
But I mean, I feel like that's also, you know, not fair of me to say because he has so much work and people love it.
War and Peace feels more
current. Yeah, I mean, that was also a bad choice.
I listened to 11/22/63. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah? That's the... they made that into an Amazon show now.
Yep.
Was it good?
Hulu. It was a Hulu
Oh,
show.
Hulu show.
The show's okay. The book is real good.
I feel like people were really into it.
Yeah. It was okay.
That's cool.
It was okay. Search Party's better.
Thank you.
It's Stranger Things. Well, you're doing very well.
Thanks, CJ. How are you, man? What are you working on?
What am I working on? I'm actually taking a online comic book writing course.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
I'm not very good at it so far, but it's interesting.
I can't believe you haven't drawn in 20 years. I feel like you have to.
I keep thinking about it. I keep thinking about
man.
taking like an art class again or something, but I don't know. It just seems like there's never a time, or even though I don't work, I still feel like I'm busy all the time.
Yeah. I feel like instead of an acting class, I would much rather take a drawing class.
Yeah.
Or
do you ever try that drawing and stuff?
No. I mean, well, like I said, I draw by myself, like when I'm bored and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know how to make things look good. You know?
Right.
Like
Maybe they don't have to. They may not have to.
Right. I mean, even if you see some people that have like a certain style that seems like, oh, I could probably draw that. It's like, no, you can't. They know how to draw anything, and they chose to draw in this style. Like, this isn't the only thing they can draw.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. But I'm very envious of people who can draw.
Me too.
Or, like kick ass on the piano or something like that. I've been trying to learn the piano.
My girlfriend plays piano. A
Really?
little bit. What? How's the piano going? Oh yeah, you have a keyboard set up.
I got a keyboard. It's going okay. Slow.
Self-teaching?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's going okay.
Okay.
I need to get a teacher. I feel like if I get a teacher and then like a hands-on person to ask questions to,
yeah,
what'll be good.
Are you doing YouTube videos or anything like that?
I got like an app that I'm like trying to learn off of.
Okay.
So you can, they teach you the basic chords and like hand placement and stuff, and then
apps are great.
Yeah, apps are cool. Apps are cool. Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, that's good. Keep busy, right? Hobbies. You know, it's important to have hobbies, I think.
I'm kind of like you though, because I got a lot of downtime right now, like waiting for. Yeah. Like I'm on hold right now, so it's like.
What do you do?
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, where did the day go?
Yeah.
Like I'm writing, but not a lot, or not as much as I want to. It's like I have a whole day. I'm like, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna write a bunch. It's like I barely wrote today. What did I do? Well, Matt and I were trying to turn our like live show into either a film or like an hour-long special.
Cool.
So we're working with this like production company to try to do that, And then I'm trying to write a little short film about like this old sportscaster giving his memoirs, like reading his memoirs to a bookstore.
Okay. Sounds funny.
Yeah, it should be fun. So we'll see. And then, sketches for like Holy Fuck and stuff like that. So,
Holy Fuck.
Yeah.
Holy Fuck on Netflix. You should put it on Netflix.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Do you binge? Do you binge stuff? Are you binging?
Not really. I binged Fleabag on BBC. I loved it.
Really? Okay.
I thought it was so funny. I thought the gal who made it is like very funny. Very good.
I gotta watch that.
I watched Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was great.
I gotta watch that.
I just started watching Bored to Death again.
I gotta watch that. I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's pretty good. I mean,
it lasts like 2 seasons or something, right?
3, I think.
2 or 3. Okay.
I remember I really liked it when it first came out, but I didn't keep up with it. And I think I just liked it when it first came out because I really wanted to move to New York at the time. I was like, oh, this looks so nice. But yeah, I like it. I watched Sex and the City too.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. That's like mindless, like late at night stuff. I'll just put it on.
There you go. What are you? Are you a Carrie? Are you a Samantha?
I don't know. I don't think I fall in line. It's really fun to watch though because they shot it New York in the 90s, so like all those actors, like everyone you recognize is popping up in random spots.
Yeah.
I saw Todd Barry on it and John Benjamin, like in little small bit parts. Bradley Cooper plays like a boyfriend, sorta like this guy that Carrie almost hooks up with. Timothy Oliphant plays a guy she hooks up with. Justin Theroux. It's like all these guys, because they just have like a rotating cast of guys.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes.
You got a lot of boyfriends in there.
Tons of boyfriends.
A lot of dates.
Yeah, it's fun.
You also did a Master of None episode.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Chris Gethard show.
Yeah, High Maintenance.
Red Oaks, you did an episode.
Sorta, yeah.
Sorta.
I played a bartender. I had one line.
Okay.
You can't tell it's me.
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
This thing called Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That was with Amy Sedaris, Chris Elliott. Did you get to hang out with them at all? I love those two.
Yeah. They were awesome. And like I'm huge fans of theirs. Like Chris Elliott, I was like, it was hard because I don't know how to tell someone like that. Yeah. Well, and I don't think they want to hear it.
Yeah. You just try to be professional and be like, just keep my mouth shut.
And at the end of shooting it, like gave Chris a hug and was like, just so you know, like, you're like a huge influence on me, whatever. And then he was like, oh yeah, well, I hope this changed your mind. And like, I was like, yeah, okay. But he was so funny. And Amy's like, I mean, if they ever let her improvise and she like wanted to improvise, she was so funny. It was crazy.
She's the best.
The best.
Amy's amazing.
She's amazing. You know her?
No. But I've loved her for a very long time.
Yeah. She knows, I mean, she's like so good friends with Pasquazi and stuff.
Yeah, I bet. They're Chicago. She's Chicago.
Yeah. She is so funny. It's crazy.
She's so good. So are you auditioning for other stuff? Well, I guess we kind of went over that because you can't really because of contracts and whatnot.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What is your like goal? You have a goal?
Not really. I mean, I want to just be in good stuff. I want to be in cool movies, and I want to write stuff with my friends. So that's about it. Yeah, it's kind of like a boring answer, but
that's good.
I don't really know what I don't. I feel like some people have like it's like this is what I want to hit these points in my career.
Yeah, you want to like win an Oscar or anything like that?
Be awesome, right?
Did you watch the Oscars?
Yeah, I watched them.
Did you watch the whole thing? Did you see the end?
Insane. What on earth?
What if that happened at the SAG Awards? They're like, "Hey, congratulations!" And they're like, "Nope, Moonlight won." It's like that's not even a shout.
I know. I thought Moonlight was so good.
Me too. That was my pick for best movie of the year. That was my pick. So I was like, "Oh, good," because La La Land got a lot of awards, and so
I didn't see La La Land.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's worth seeing. And I think some people hate it.
Some people say it's fascist.
Oh boy!
Yeah, there was like a bunch of articles going on the internet. I was like, "This is,
Well, I didn't
fashion.
walk away with that. I did not. I walked away with going, Ryan Gosling's not a strong singer. That's what I walked away with. But but I thought Emma Stone was very charming. She's really great in it.
Nice.
And I think direction wise, it's great. I kind of relate to some of it because spend so much time in LA.
Right.
But you'll get it. Like the opening shot is traffic and stuff like that. So it's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love this.
That sounds right.
If there's cars involved, I'm gonna love it.
And dancing and singing.
Dancing and singing.
Yeah, it's good. I like the ambition of it. I'm not like rushing to watch it again, but I like what they were trying to do with it. I'm not a musical guy in general, anyway. You know.
Yeah, I watched Singing in the Rain again pretty recently, and I was kind of blown away. It's so good.
Yeah.
And there's some dance numbers in there, like that "Make 'Em Laugh" dance number is like unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like single shot.
I mean, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, those guys are crazy, and I think that's what they were trying to do with La La Land.
It was like an homage.
An homage. I mean, they're doing stuff that's single shots and real. You know, they're doing a sunset. They're getting a real sunset in the back in the Hollywood Hills, and they have Emma and Ryan doing this song and dance while the sun's setting in one take.
Cool.
You know, they have one shot at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
or they had 6 different days of that.
Maybe.
That'd be nuts. Probably.
But I admire the ambition of it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. But yeah, Moonlight's great. I love Moonlight.
I thought American Honey was really good.
And
it didn't get any. It was like not up for anything. I was kind of surprised.
I didn't see it. What is that with Shia LaBeouf?
Mm-hmm. And Sasha Lane.
And it's good. It's a good movie.
I thought it was so good.
Okay.
I thought that and Moonlight were kind of the only 2 movies where when they were done, I was like, oh, whoa, I didn't realize it's done. I thought I was so enthralled. I was like, this could keep going, and I would love it.
Moonlight too. That could have kept going because there was just there's more to tell there. That's so good.
As opposed to some movies, I'm always just like, I want to know when it's going to end. I'm like, this is good, but when does it end? It must be wrapping up now. But yeah, those 2, I was like, holy moly, they're so good.
What's your sister doing these days?
She's working for a fashion company in London.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, she's the market director at Matches Fashion.
My favorite. So that's interesting. So that's kind of a creative field.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, her life seems nuts. I mean, I just see she travels so much. Because, you know,
married or anything?
She has a fiance.
Okay.
He's a real nice, strong British man.
Nice.
Yeah, he's jacked, which is good. Yeah. I mean, she's like in Milan or Paris or London. You know, she was here in New York for all these fashion weeks, you know. It just seems like such an alternate reality.
Yeah, that's a different world.
Yeah, it seems very stressful. But she's, you know, I mean, she's just like such a strong personality also, and got a good head on her. So, I mean, she can handle it for sure.
That's great. You guys pretty close?
Yeah, we're pretty close.
All right.
And we love each other, you know. We don't see each other as much as
she's in London,
we'd want.
Right?
Yeah, but she used to live here.
Okay.
But it's still hard to see each other just because, you know, everybody's so busy.
Yeah. That's the life, man.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
2.
2?
Older sister, younger brother.
And you see them a lot or no?
Not really. I mean, I'm in LA, they're in Long Island.
Okay.
So it's as much as I come to Long Island.
Are you going to see them while you're here?
I saw my sister last week.
Nice.
Something like that.
Doing good?
She's doing okay. I saw my nephews, you know. I love my nephews.
Yeah, that's cool. Nephews sound awesome. I want my sister to have some kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so great. Yeah. I don't know how I wonder what your sister feels about that because she's traveling so much. It might be not on her radar right now of
probably not
or something.
Probably like in a few years. I think they want to have kids.
So she's not even 30 yet.
She no, she's turning 29.
29, okay.
In March.
She's got some time.
Yeah. Yeah, her boy toy is
her boy toy.
Yeah, he's like 31.
Her British 32. Boy toy.
Or the British boy toy. He's a good guy.
Right on.
Yeah. You know.
Great. Hey, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time and talking with me.
For sure.
It was good to see you and catch up.
It was good to see you. Was this good?
Very good.
It was.
And it's nice because I do this a lot where I invite people on who I know but don't know.
Yeah.
And then I get to like find out about them and like, you know, peel away the layers.
Yeah, this was a very relaxed chat.
Yeah, very relaxed.
I didn't know what the show, what the conceit of it was going to be. I didn't know if we were going to be like improvising or doing bits or whatever. But it was nice that it was just a chat. I was like, oh, this is nice.
We can get a suggestion or something.
Yeah. I always because I'm not a big podcast guy, but I'm always like so fearful I'm going to be so boring on them or something,
Not at all. Not at all.
That's good.
You nailed it.
Thanks, man.
So is this your first podcast? Am I your first?
No, I've done a couple. A lot of them have like a conceit. I did one about Christmas movies.
Right.
My buddy Gary and Chris Gethard had one that was like about dreams.
Right on. I'm trying to get. I wrote to Chris a couple of times on like Facebook and stuff.
Oh, really?
I'd love to have him on, but he hasn't written back.
Oh, really?
He's not written back.
He should do it.
I saw his one-person show. It was very good. Did you see his solo show?
I did not. But career suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a better friend than you are.
That's not true.
Do you want to plug anything? You want to plug a Instagram or a website or a Twitter or anything like that?
No, I'm okay.
I'd say Stranger Things on Netflix.
I don't think they need my plug. Do you have anything you want to plug?
I want to plug Search Party on TBS.
Yeah.
You can watch it on the app. All the episodes are still there. You can watch all the episodes.
How about your girlfriend's shows?
Daredevil and True Blood.
True Blood.
On HBO on that app.
Nice.
Pretty good.
And Punisher.
Punisher's coming out
Defenders.
sometime this year, I guess. I assume it's this year.
Nice.
I assume it's going to come out this year. We'll see.
Defenders too.
Defenders as well. And then at some point, do season 3 of Daredevil. At some point.
Only season 3?
Yeah.
Wow. I'd assume that they were deeper.
Only season 3. And then you're going to be at The Annoyance, although this probably won't come out till The Annoyance is closed.
Yeah. I think Annoyance closes like the 31st or something.
Yeah, this might be after that.
Nice.
So we'll see. But hey, man, thanks a lot.
Thanks, EJ.
You're the best.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming over.
All right, thank you. And scene.
There you go. That was my talk with John Reynolds. Thanks so much, John. Good talking with you. Hope we get to improvise again sometime. So cool. So I hope you enjoyed that talk. And once again, I will plug myself. Twitter is at EJ Scott and at EJ Podcast. Instagram, EJ Scott1106. EJScott.com. Website, Running Blind documentary on Google Play, Amazon, and iTunes. Charities to donate to crowdrise.com/7on7. And go check out John's stuff. Support him. He's a good dude. Very funny. And go subscribe to my podcast on iTunes. And I'm on iHeartRadio now. So check it out there. I have a lot of podcasts from the past. So go check those out. And you don't want to miss any upcoming ones. So lots of good stuff coming your way. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.